What's going on? About to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. That's what I do. So, here's what I want to talk about. We were talking about fighters being better than other fighters, but still lose to them. So, Floyd Mayweather name came up, and someone made a comment that Floyd fought guys that was better than him, and the only reason he beat him is because he was smarter than him. Okay. So are you just trying to discredit him? Are you taking a shot at him? Not realizing that, yeah, without a functioning brain, your body won't function, right? If your brain is dead, your body won't do anything. Your brain tells your body what to do. Okay. And listening to the person talk, just the things that they were saying, it sounds like they probably heard someone from a boxing channel, possibly, or probably a boxing channel or something, or somebody made comments about that. And I've heard other boxing channels say that. I don't know if that's exactly, if that's what happened, but just what the person was saying, because the more we even was going back and forth chatting, it was like his points basically made no sense. Like, he would say something, but as he tried to explain it, it just was like, okay. All right. I understand what people are trying to say when they're saying Floyd could beat guys because of his thinking brain. Okay, and I agree. But this is what I disagree with, okay? To say he's smart enough to beat guys that's better fighters than him, it really makes no sense. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you why. Again, your brain is what makes your body react, okay? If your brain is not functioning, your body's just a vegetable. Okay? That's why we call people vegetables when they get in that vegetative state, because it's done. You can't, okay? Parts of the brain shut down that control certain functions of your body. Well, if you say, let's take Floyd for example. If you say a guy has become a more action-packed fighter than Floyd, been in more exciting type fights than Floyd, because Floyd can shut you down with his defense and movement, control the pace and land shots when he need to, and move. And Floyd also walk fighters down. Okay, I get you, but who is actually better than Floyd that Floyd beat? I don't get that. I know what you're trying to say, that this guy's better than Floyd, but Floyd can outthink them. Well, thinking is basically from the time you're in that ring, you're thinking. You have guys that just run in, rush, warm guys, overwhelm them, throwing punches, and they knock them out. Okay. Yeah. And that guy didn't get a chance to think, to really, right? You've never seen that happen to Floyd, right? Okay. What I have to beat you with, that's what matters. If a guy says, technically he's a better fighter, he goes to the body well, he goes upstairs, he mixes it up, he give you angles, he knows when to turn up, he knows when to back off. Now, when we fight, I beat you, and especially I beat you easily, and it looks like a fucking sparring match. What that means is all of those things and those great attributes that you have, you were able to beat those other guys, but you couldn't beat me. So how is what you bring to the table versus what I bring to the table, how is it that you're better than me, but you can't beat me? That makes no sense. It really is irrelevant, because, and the point that you're making is that Floyd's mind is so much more advanced than his opponents, that he can outthink them. And well, you still have to land the shots. You have to have the speed, the timing. You have to have the ring IQ, the understanding when to throw this shot, when not to. What angles to give, what feints to give, what to do to, make this person react in a way that, all of that, yeah, it's thinking. So you can say a person might have had faster hands, which I really ain't seen too many people I could say is actually faster than Floyd, man. I mean, Floyd was fast, man. Floyd just didn't, he wasn't known for throwing like explosive combinations, but he would he was pretty boy Floyd. He would put it on you. That's when he threw more combinations, more throughout the fight than as he got older and his hands got bad. But to say that a guy is better than you, he's better than you. Okay, I think let me see. I'm trying to give an example of something. I don't think Canelo was a better boxer than Floyd. If he was a better fighter, he'd have won. I mean, this is just the way I see it. I think Michael Nunn is a better boxer than James Toney, and he showed it when they fought. He was easily outpointing James Toney, was winning every fucking round after round. He was beating James Toney to the punch. He was throwing the better combinations, better shot selection. And hey, James Toney, 11th round, caught him, bam, hurt him. And he knocked him out. Now, I think Michael Nunn is a better boxer than James Toney, yeah. And we know James Toney could box, but James Toney also knew that some guys you can outbox, but then there's some guys you got to go after. That's the old saying. It's not about being cliche, but that's reality. You have to fight a boxer and you have to box a fighter. Sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes you got to mix it up. Even though James Toney knocked him out, yeah, I think he's the better boxer now. That's what you're trying to stout. Now, I agree with that. But now, let's look at the chess match. Okay? If we're talking about two skilled fighters, right? And even though Michael Nunn was the better fighter, he just got caught, got knocked out. Simple. Okay, fatigue might have had something to do with that as well. But at the same time, we're talking about a guy who, okay, I know you have quick hands, he has fast feet. Okay, and he likes to work off of his jab. I'm going to walk him down and make him fight backwards. Just because you try to apply a strategy doesn't mean it's going to work. Look at everybody who failed trying to apply their strategy to Floyd Mayweather and lost. So I get what you're trying to say, but that really is irrelevant. And it really makes no sense. I mean, it's relevant to make the point that Floyd could outthink people, but to say that guys were better fighters than him, who? Who was better than Floyd? I mean, it makes no sense. Was Oscar De La Hoya a better fighter than Floyd? Then why did he lose? Was Canelo better? Was Pacquiao better? I mean, what you bring to the table. Look, people say there's guys that were better boxers than Muhammad Ali, right? Because Muhammad Ali wasn't the conventional fighter. Muhammad Ali, like Roy, like Ray Leonard, like Ray Robinson, they were gifted fighters. Pernell was a special fighter too. He was different. Pernell was a special fighter. He didn't fight the way they did, and you don't have to fight the way they do to be great, but he was different. But they were gifted. I don't see Pernell was talented. I don't see him as gifted. I see him as talented because he could box and use natural, just he was nice. His reflexes and all. He was different too. But those guys were special, man. Like to the point where like when you get older, when you have like really solid reflexes and footwork and speed and movement, and then it gets harder for you when you get older. When your legs won't get you around like you used to. Now you have to fight, dig down more than you used to doing. But you see that these guys had it in them. Okay. Ali, when people said he does a lot of things wrong, he pulls straight back. Look, that was a part of his style. He didn't do it because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I've seen fights, Ali, many times, people throwing shots and he just move his head. And he's looking right at them. He's not taking his eyes off of them. He's not doing this. He's moving his head, ducking, move. And when he would dance, his legs, his movement was a part of his style. And you watching Ali would dance, how he would move, dance, and he would do that little, how he would cross his leg, like when he would, there's a step he would do. I'm sitting down, I can't show you, but he would do it and he would use it to catch you off guard and throw the long shot at you. And he would throw that shot, bam, 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 and get you. And he would keep that distance. And what this is doing is making you scared to come the fuck in because he's able to hit you off angles that you don't expect punches to come from. Ali His style was his style. He was strictly a headhunter. Ali never threw meaningful body shots. All you seen Ali do a couple of times, throw a little quick jab to the body, move. Ali did not throw body shots, man. So to say a guy is technically better than Ali, right? Like, I think, okay, Floyd Mayweather has better technical skills than Ali all around as far as mixing up from head to body, right? Because if Ali comes against a guy, let's say, and the guy is able to get away from Ali's headshots, and the body attack, like Ali, if he had that body attack, maybe it would have made the fights, no, it would have made the fights, certain fights easier than what they were, because now he's able to attack the body. Everybody's not an effective body puncher, though. Let's get that straight. Everybody is not an effective body puncher. But if you say this guy is a better fighter, if you say Henry Cooper's a better fighter than Ali, how? Ali beat him. He dropped Ali. Ali fought him twice, and Ali beat him both times. But how? Sonny Liston is a better fighter. How? Then if he's a better fighter, he should win. That's like saying, you can say that about anything. You know, this basketball team is better than that team. Then why did they lose to them? I remember when the New England Patriots played the Rams. Okay, this is when Drew Bledsoe, not Drew Bledsoe, Kurt Warner. And I remember, Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback for the Patriots. But, and I remember that first time, and everybody was thinking, man, the Rams are going to kill the Patriots, man. The Patriots was a good team in the AFC, man. But they, the Patriots won. And you know what the excuse was? Oh, but towards the end, the Rams was coming back. If they just had a little more time, no. The Patriots had the same time that the Rams had. So the excuses don't mean anything. So if the Rams was a better team, why did they lose? I think nobody expected the Rams to lose. And the fact that the Patriots had a bunch of players that they had no superstar names, just like the San Antonio Spurs. The Lakers are a better team. Well, the times that the Lakers beat them and beat them clearly, the Lakers were a better team. But when they lost to the Spurs, guess what? The Spurs were the better team. So I get what you're trying to say, but no. Because what you're doing, okay, you're the technical fighter, you got this, you got all of that, right. Now when I fight you, I nullify that shit. So my thinking brain makes me a better fucking fighter than you, because what you have is not working against me. I don't care what you do against anybody else, but you can't beat me. So how are you a better fighter than me, but you're losing to me? That just makes no sense. So with Floyd, what I would say, I can take other fighters and make, analysis on their strengths and weaknesses. What I say with Floyd is this. Even if you had fast hands or faster hands, Floyd knew how to nullify that shit. If you hit harder and was stronger, he knew how to nullify your power. If you could move, he knew how to walk you down and keep you to where he knew how to find, he knew how to win. Okay? So if you have certain things, I'm a harder puncher than Floyd. My hands are just as fast as Floyd. I have faster feet than Floyd. But when you fight Floyd, you lose. Floyd's the better fighter. It's just as simple as that, man. If you look at Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins. Roy Jones beat Bernard Hopkins when it mattered, when they were in their primes. Nobody gave a shit about that rematch. They both were past their primes. In the long run, at the time that they fought in the rematch, Bernard was able to sustain a better winning record against more credible opponents than Roy in the long run. So what he had in the tank at that time versus what Roy had, he was better than Roy at that time. In their primes, he wasn't better than Roy when it mattered more, but still, they were still fighting. And so at that time, if Roy was the better fighter, at that time, Roy would have won. No, he wasn't. Roy still had the, fast hands and, he always slapping his shoes and sticking his tongue out and shaking all that. But no, at that point, no, he was no longer better than Bernard Hopkins. So when you have a fighter who can find a way to beat you, he can shut down your power, shut down your speed, cause you to not be effective with whatever it is, then he's the better fighter. That shit makes no fucking sense that you're a better fighter than me, but I'm going to beat you. So what I'm saying, when I made the comparison with the fight with James Toney and Michael Nunn, I feel like Michael Nunn was the better boxer. He outboxed Toney easy, man. Now, let's just say if James Toney would have basically found a way to nullify all that shit. He knocked him the fuck out. But I'm saying, let's just say if no, it worked. He knocked him out. Some people's strategy is like, yo, let him shoot his low, let him get tired. That's strategizing, man. That's war. That's how it goes. You're strategic. You're okay. Just like what Floyd said, Zab Judah. He said Zab Judah's a front runner. He said he starts out strong, and then he starts to fade. He have a good first half of the fight. He does, then he just fades. Okay. He told De La Hoya to his face, don't get tired. Did he not tell De La Hoya, don't get tired? So regardless to what you're saying about this fight is better than Floyd, how are you better? And the funny thing about it, man, is like, you look, guys that people say Floyd didn't fight lost to lesser opponents. And you guys are still saying, but that guy would have did this and that. I don't think Amir Khan is a better fighter than Canelo. This is what I think. I think he has much faster hands to where his style of that little slap, run shit, how he does, Canelo got to catch up to him. Canelo knows once I connect, it's over. I don't think he's a better fighter. Okay, I think technically, when you look at what they both bring to the table, first off, Amir Khan can't take Canelo's punch. But if he could take Canelo's punch, okay, if he could, it would be different now, wouldn't it? If he could. Well, we don't know. Let's say he starts to get shy. Canelo starts to turn it up. Fighting is a strategy, man. And like when people say, I think it's just that old mentality of saying a guy is better than the guy because, but yet he loses to the guy. They said Floyd Patterson was a better fighter than Muhammad Ali. How? Ali beat the shit out of Floyd Patterson. How the fuck was he a better fighter? Again, what you have was good enough to be impressive and get you the win against other fighters, but you couldn't beat me. That makes me the better fighter. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. It's like, imagine somebody going to a store saying, I love apples, man. Apples is my favorite thing in the world to eat. But every fucking time they go in the store, they go buy oranges. Wouldn't that make you say, damn, look, you always say you love apples, that's your favorite thing to eat, but every time I see you, you're buying oranges. Does that make any sense? That's my favorite thing, I just don't eat it though. That makes no sense. So to say someone, he's a better fighter than him. No, I can see it makes more sense when a guy is a better fighter than another guy, but that guy knocked him out. Again, Michael Nunn, James Toney. Nunn, to me, was clearly the better boxer, but hey, he got knocked out. If they had a rematch, we don't know what would have happened. We don't know what would have happened. But yeah, I can understand that. But in Floyd's case, Floyd knocked guys out, but later on in his career, he was just able to outbox you for 12 rounds. How the fuck are you better than somebody that can fucking win all 12 rounds against you, or win the majority of the rounds against you and just clearly unanimous decision? How? How are you better than that guy? When Sugar Ray Leonard fought Duran the first time, I clearly thought Sugar Ray was the better fighter between the two of them. But Sugar Ray Leonard fought, to me, the wrong fight. It was a stupid way to fight because Duran got under his skin, pissed him off, and all the disrespect. He wanted to beat him at his own game. He wanted to hurt him. He wanted to punish him, and it didn't work for him the way it didn't work out for him. If Ray Leonard in that same fight would have been able to say, you know what, man, let me get back to what made me Ray Leonard in the first place. Because there's certain fighters he could stand there and bang with. He just couldn't do it with Duran. So if he sticks to what made it the rematch, it looked like Duran didn't even belong in the ring with him. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at those things, you got to look and be like, use sound judgment. He's the better fighter. He just fought the wrong fight. If Ray is fighting at his best and he still loses, then you got to say Duran, the fighter that beats him is the better fighter. How the fuck is he the better fighter and he loses? At his best. You see what I'm saying? And that's something Floyd did better than anybody, was make the adjustments in the fight to get the win. I mean, because if you look at things, for example, it's funny. Muhammad Ali fought Frazier. Now, in that first fight, I believe it's because of the long layoff. Ali wasn't the same. His reflexes wasn't the same. His speed wasn't the same. He still was a great fighter. He still had, because he had physical gifts, man. But Ali, his abilities, he wasn't the same. If not for the layoff, he probably would have boxed circles around Frazier, man. He probably would have, well, we'll never know now. But anyway, I feel like he should have had more fights than just the Jerry Quarry fight to come back. He should have had more fights under his belt first to get the stamina, get the endurance, because, when you get fatigued, what you got in the tank might not be enough to get the win. So, but look at this. Ali fought 3 wars with Frazier. Foreman knocked Frazier out twice, easily. Ali knocks out Foreman. Ali has 3 wars with Kid Norton. Foreman knocks out Kid Norton in 4 rounds. And again, Ali knocks out Foreman. You can't look at things and say a person is a better fighter than someone just because they look good against somebody else. And fact is, no matter how good you are, what you bring to the table fight night, you might have a bad night. Shit happens. But I feel like when you look at, like fighters, like when you have these guys who fight each other in styles, this guy's style may be easier for this guy. This guy may pose a bigger threat than this guy. I mean, it just happens, man. Because, like, we know, I'm tired of saying it and hearing it, but styles do make fights. We get that. But when you got a guy, that's what leads me to my point about, back to the point of, to add on, is when you have a guy who finds a way to beat guys, you can't say that these guys are better fighters than that guy. No, he can't be. If he was a better fighter, he'd win. Especially when you're not getting knocked out by the guy, but you're just getting clearly outboxed. How is he fucking better? No, the guy with the thinking brain is the better fighter. It's as simple as that. The most you can say is, well, he hits harder, or he has faster hands, or he has better movement, but does it fucking matter if this guy is able to nullify that? Simple, man. I mean, and this is why, too, when you again, let's look, Marvin Hagler, Ray Leonard, Duran, Hearns, they all fought each other. Leonard was being outboxed by Hearns because Hearns knew how to use his reach. He knew how to use his speed. He knew how to use his boxing abilities to where Ray couldn't get in. Ray could not get that jab was bothering him, man. Now, they had 2 tough fights with each other. Hagler knocks Hearns out in 3 rounds. Duran gives Hagler a hell of a fight and a decision win for Hagler. Hearns knocks out Duran in 2 rounds. But again, you can't just say, because everybody's not going to have the same thing happen. Now, if you say who's the better fighter between Hearns and Ray Leonard, okay, people will say Ray Leonard. I say that Ray Leonard was a smarter fighter than Hearns in terms of style adaptation, but at the same time, Leonard got the knockout. So who do I think is the better boxer between Leonard and Hearns? Who has better abilities? Let's put it that way. Better abilities. And Ray Leonard's greatness didn't last as long, man, as a lot of other great fighters, man. Like, I would say, in all honesty, in terms of the better fighter between Hearns and Leonard, man, I like Leonard better. They fight, I would go with Leonard to win. He's the one I want to see win, but I gotta say Hearns is between the two of them, I gotta say, I mean, Leonard got the knockout. That's what mattered, man. It's kind of a toss-up, man, because even in the rematch that they had, man, you know, he was able to knock Leonard down in the rematch. Leonard didn't knock him down. Leonard hurt him, but I think the two knockdowns is, you know, it's kind of like, see, Hearns uses his reach and all that, but then again, look, Hearns, let's not forget, Hearns got knocked out by, what's the guy name? I forget his name, man. But Hearns got knocked out by a guy that, I mean, I don't see that guy the way other people tried to build him up to be, man. Iran Barkley. I mean, Iran Barkley wasn't nothing special to me, man. And he was able to beat Hearns, man. People going to say, but yeah, Hearns was older than, well, hey, man, you're still in the ring. My thing is the adaptation. I just think Leonard in his prime was, you know, he was more exciting than Hearns, but I got to go with Hearns. I got to go with Hearns, man. I think Hearns was more effective overall. Technically, it's one of those things, man, because I can't say if Hearns was shorter or Leonard was shorter. No. I think effectively against each other, Hearns had an edge over Leonard. But against other fighters, and then you got to look at the longevity of their careers, man. I don't know, man. That one is kind of a toss-up. But, you know, that's what I'm saying, because these guys, they did damage to each other. And, you know, but when you got a guy, like if Leonard would have went there and people saying Hearns got the longer reach, Hearns got the power, but if Leonard is able to just go in there and beat this guy for 12 rounds or win 8 to 4 out of the rounds or something like that, or really, you know, then how would I say Hearns is a better fighter? I couldn't. I would have to go with what they both bring to the table and what they have. So that's kind of like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, yeah, I understand what people are saying, with the point they're trying to make, but I just think it's an irrelevant point, man. To the point, I get it. You're saying because he can think he's a smart fighter, he can nullify your shit. Right. That's what makes him a better fighter. So, anyway, that's all I want to say on that one. See y'all on the next one.